What's up, guys? Winter Kills here, and welcome to a brand new and updated pure Crusadia deck profile. The last time we did Crusadias, we did a Guard Dragon variant, but ever since Engage has been reprinted and been much easier to get, a play set of, I wanted to do a pure version because I think the Striker engine, a very small Striker engine, helps out this deck a lot. And I said I would update it once those cards got reprinted, and lo and behold, here we are. So I got a pretty standard build, I would say. I did make a slight change, like pretty much a last minute change in the main deck, and I'll show you guys what that engine was. But one thing I want to mention first is a shout out to our sponsor at Imperium Duelist. They have these brand new effects, or not effect sleeves, but brand new sleeves in general for effect and non-effect. A brand new formula, and it comes in this really cool artwork box style. And you guys can pick them up now on their website alongside all their other amazing product they have. Playmats, two-player cloth playmats, some of the best playmats I've ever used, sleeves, and they also have dice as well. So it's the full package with these guys. If you guys want to check them out, feel free to check them out down in the description below, where you can find the link to their website and a discount code that you can use to save 10% off your entire order. So let's go ahead and get into the deck profile to start. Pretty much the standard, monster lineup with any Crusadia deck. We're just gonna max out on the Crusadias, just because the more Crusadia monsters you see, generally, at least until a given point, you don't want to open up all Crusadia monsters, but opening up maybe 2 or 3 Crusadia monsters is pretty decent, I would say. But to start, 3 Maximus, he's basically allows you to have your one of your Crusadia monsters do double damage. Crusadia Link monsters, that is. So that comes in clutch with the OTK. Crusadia Draco, he can be special summoned to his own and Link monster points to. And then one special summon, that way you can add back a Crusadia card from your grave to your hand. And keep in mind, all of these guys have the same summoning condition, that they can special summon themselves to his own Link monster points to, and only once per turn that way. Then moving forward, we have just 3 Leonis. This one lets your Crusadia Link monster do piercing damage. So that effect comes up sometimes, but again, mostly just playing these for names. Then next we play 3 Crusadia Reclusia. This one lets you pop a card if he's normal or special summoned to his own Link monster points to. You basically can destroy a Crusadia card on your side of the field and then destroy a card on your opponent's side of the field. Pretty handy for removal. 3 Arborea. This is a tuner as well, so we can make some synchro plays in here, which is kind of nice. Level 7s or 6s, whatever you want to do. But the thing about Arborea is that there's some really cool synergy with Reclusia. So if Reclusia is already in your graveyard and you use Arborea's, or not, if Arborea is already in your grave or even on your field, and you got to use Reclusia's effect, you can banish Arborea from your field or grave to prevent any destruction from happening to any of your Crusadia monsters. So it's kind of like a Return of the Dragon Lords, but can also be used on field as well, which is really nice. So 3 Arborea, and that is it for the Crusadia monsters. So playing literally one of each of the Crusadia monsters, 3, 6, 9, 12, and 15 Crusadia monsters right there, maxing out as much as we can. And then we play some World Legacy monsters because we can search these, which comes in handy. This guy has the same effect. The World Legacy World Crown has the same effect as the Crusadias, to be able to special summon itself to his own Link monster points to. And then if an extra deck monster activates the fact, you contribute this card to negate the activation, destroy that card, so that's pretty powerful. And World Lance comes in handy because it acts as kind of like a hand trap, if you will. Anytime a Link monster you control battles an opponent's monster, you can discard this card and the opponent's battling monster loses 3,000 attack. That can come in handy sometimes when you're trying to push for extra damage, especially with Ecomax and Maximus plays. That card can just outright steal games 100%. Then moving forward, 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. This is definitely going second deck if you ask me, so we want to play some hand trapperinos. Although not necessary if you want to play other cards other than hand traps. You can. I just think hand traps make sense in here for the most part. And then we play 1 Jizakura the Star Destroying Kaiju, 1 Dogron the Mad Flame Kaiju, and then 2 copies of Gameciel the Sea Turtle Kaiju. So basically I cut the quick launch engine for more kaijus. I discussed this in the duel video that I uploaded the other day that featured this deck. And if you want to see this deck in action, you can by clicking up here in the top right. There should be a little annotation or something that you can click on that will take you to that video if you want to watch and see this deck in action. The reason I cut it is just because after you resolve the first quick launch, you really just have like 2 dead cards in your deck, which I don't know how I felt about that too much. It's not like the Sky Striker engine where like you know, you can like resolve engage, you know, more than once because we play more than one target. And I might even play a 3rd target at some point, I'm not sure. But like, and this is really important for your strategy. If you open up like normal Crusadia combo with a kaiju, you just outright have game 100%. And just clearing boss monsters, you know, like with this removal is just really strong. So yeah, I went with that. It's arguably worse when you have to go first. I think the quick launch engine is a bit more versatile when having to go first, but it does have its flaws. I don't know. You could play either or. I'm just switching it up this time around and going with a kaiju package. Then moving on to the spells, continuing the spells, we have 3 engage. This is to search out either your Hornet drones or your Eagle booster. Not playing just one target, so we can resolve multiple engages in a game, which is nice. Be able to possibly draw some cards off them as well. So definitely a really solid card, because anytime you can get to Hornet drones with your standard combo, it saves you so many cards in hand. It's really, really nice. Then we have 2 interrupted kaiju slumber. So again, same concept, going for the OTK, making it much easier. You can place basically the kaiju they give them in the same column that the extra monster zone is in, to basically help secure the OTK. 1 Rhoda, this is to search out an Arborea, and that's our literally only target, so we're technically playing 16 copies of Crusadia monsters, if you want to look at it that way. 1 World Legacy Succession, because this is searchable off the trap card, and it's also just a pretty handy card to have in the main deck. And then our other Sky Striker spells are 1 Hornet Drones and 1 Eagle Booster. Very, very nice card. Can make any monster you control unaffected by card effects. And then if you have 3 more spells in your grave, you can also not be destroyed by battle, which is nice. 1 Crusadia Revival. Boost up all your Link monsters by 500, all Crusadia Link monsters. Crusadia Testament. This card is like my favorite card in the entire deck. Because if you can't go for the OTK, grabbing this card is nice, because when your Ecomax or your Avermax destroy something, you can activate this in damage calc and basically draw cards up to the link rating of the monster you control that just destroyed something by battle. So if you destroy something by battle with Ecomax, you draw 3 cards. If you destroy something by battle with Avermax, you draw 4 cards, which is a really nice way to bolster your hand for the next turn. So I really love this card. And it can also make it so your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to the activation of your Crusadia monster effects this turn. You can only activate one of each of the effects, or one or the other. But it's such a strong card if you see it. And you can search it out as well. Same thing with power. This is basically another copy of Eagle Booster, essentially. It can target a Crusadia monster control, and then that Crusadia monster is unaffected by card effects this turn except its own, which is nice. Then we have 3 copies of Impermanence for the traps. And yeah, you don't have to play Impermanence. You can play more hand traps. You can play a Ghost Ogre or something. But I like Impermanence. And then 1 copy of Crusadia Crawler. You can special this card as an effect monster. And if it's special summoned to his own Link monster points, so you can add a World Legacy card from deck to your hand. So that allows you to search either the World Crown or the World Lance or a copy of Succession. When you summon it to his own that, like, let's say Ecomax points to, and it gives your Ecomax a good card to tribute to negate something, which is nice. It just gives you a solid target to tribute away. And then to start off the extra deck, we have 3 copies of Crusadia Magus. Basically, anytime a monster is special summoned to his own, this card points to, you can add a Crusadia monster from your deck to your hand. It only takes 1 Crusadia monster to make this guy as well. So sometimes late game, you'll have an Ecomax up here in your extra monster zone, and you'll have other plays to make. So you can actually link this guy away for another copy of Magus. So you can use Crusadia Link monsters to go into this if you did not realize that. So you can sort of reset your Link climbing cycle by just, linking to another copy of Magus. So this card is really important. Definitely the one you'd want to play 3 of, in my opinion. Then 2 Regulex, 2 monsters, including a Crusadia monster, 2 effect monsters, that is. And also, one other thing to mention, that all the Crusadia Link monsters except Ecomax or Avermax gain attack based on what they point to. So same thing with mages, same thing with Regulex, and if something is special summoned to his own Regulex points to, you can add a Crusadia spell or trap from your deck to your hand. And then we play 2 copies of Equal Max, 2+ effect monsters, including a Link monster. So somewhat generic with this card, and it gains attack equal to the combined original attack of all monsters it points to. Monsters this card's point to cannot attack. Same concept here, and I believe same concept with mages. So anything they point to cannot attack. And basically, you contribute a Crusadia or World Legacy monster this card points to target one passive card your opponent controls and negates effects until the end of this turn. So he does provide some interruption there. And then 1 copy of Big Boy Avramax. He basically cannot be targeted with card effects, opponent's card effects, while he's Link summoned on the field. And also, other monsters cannot target monsters you control for attacks, except this one. And once per battle during damage calculation, if this card battles a special summon monster, quick effect, you can make this card gain attack equal to that opponent's monster's attack during damage calculation only. If this Link summon card you control is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can shuffle 1 card in the field into the deck. So this card is extremely hard for some decks to deal with. You can easily make it with a Equal Max and a Magus to get into this card. Really easy access in this deck for this this card, and it's so awesome that we got it. It's such a strong boss monster. Sometimes better than going into Equal Max and you can't go for OTK. Then the Sky Striker monster, 1 Kagari, 1 Hayate. I like Hayate because sometimes you can, use this first off your Hornet drones to, attack directly. If you can't, go for a game that turn, whatever it may be, dump engage and then go into engage, add back engage, etc., etc. Make some cool Sky Striker plays there. And then I'm playing some Nightmare monsters, 1 Phoenix, 1 Cerberus, 1 Unicorn. Because these cards are just pretty easy to get into. 1 Boral Sword and 1 F.A. Dawn Dragster for a Synchro. I was thinking about playing a level 6 Synchro, but I just don't think it's ever going to come up. I'd rather make this than any other level 6 that I can think of right now. I guess you could play Bryanak, but again, Synchros don't come up that often in this build, especially if you're not playing the Quick Launch engine. So I think just playing 1 Synchro is fine. So sometimes if you want to, you can have that option, that luxury, if you will, to be able to go into a Synchro play. So yeah, that is it for the extra deck and the main deck. Now I'm going to run through a quick little test hand with this deck just to kind of get those who have never played this deck before a little bit of a chance to see sort of how the deck operates. And this is something I might start incorporating into future profiles. Just because I feel like it might be more of a complete package to just sort of include a little bit of a how-to play at the end of a deck profile. So, for the most part, it depends. We'll see if I keep doing this. Let me know if you guys want to see this in more profiles, maybe a test hand just at the end to sort of get the basics down, just to see, if anybody likes that. Just let me know down in the comment section below. So yeah, we'll draw our first opening hand here, and we draw Arborea, Lance, Draco, and Hornet drones. Since this is a going second deck, we will just draw a going second hand. So we have this right here. This is a really strong hand for a couple of reasons. We've opened 3 Crusadia monsters, we opened Hornet drones, which is insane, and we opened a copy of Power and Lance. So this will allow us to make one of our Crusadia monsters unaffected by card effects, which means we can potentially sort of block a hand trap here, if you will, a pseudo Called by the Grave, built-in protection. And yeah, we open Hornet drones too, which is just going to make this play a lot easier. So what I would do is probably start with not the Draco, because we want to be able to use the effect of Draco to add back a Crusadia from our grave, and we want to get value out of this card. So we want to start by not normal summoning him first. So we'll start by normal summoning the Arborea, and then link the Arborea away into our Link 1 Crusadia Magus. That right there. And then we're going to use we could use the Draco here, but we don't have to because we open up Hornet drones. So we'll use Hornet drones first, actually, and then summon a token. Put that token right there, and then we will link the token into a copy of Hayate, or not Hayate, but Kagari. Activate this Chainlink 2, Chainlink 1, important to build that Chainlink there to Chainlink block so you get your search. So we'll add back the Hornet drones, and then we'll use this to add a Crusadia monster from our deck to our hand. Now, since we're probably going to go for a standard OTK, we want to make sure we add a copy of Crusadia Maximus from our deck to our hand. so we can secure that double damage. Now we're going to link these two away for a copy of, where is it? The Crusadia Regulex. And then we're going to either here we could special summon the Draco to add back the Arborea, or we could Hornet Drones here. It really doesn't make too big of a difference, but I'm going to start with the Hornet Drones, and then we'll summon the token, and then we'll link again that token in to another Sky Striker monster for Hayate. We won't get to Chain Link Block here, unfortunately, but we'll still get to activate this effect for free without having to use any of our resources in our hand. So now we'll add a Crusadia spell, or trap. I'm going to add Revival here, just because this will allow us to attack all monsters our opponent controls, and our Crusadia Link monsters will also gain 500 attack as well, which can be pretty relevant when trying to go for a game. So now we'll link all those into a copy of our Equal Max, who right now has 2,000 attack, but like I said, he will gain attack based on, whatever he points to. So now we will special summon the Draco, activating Draco's effect to add Arborea. Now, we could add back Arborea, or we could add back Magus, so we don't burn through our resources too quickly. Make Magus again using this, and then link these two into Avermax, so that's an option we have. But I'm just going to add back this for a bit of a synchro play that we can make, because now we can special summon the Arborea, and then synchro these two into a copy of FA Dawn Dragster. We can put here, put him in defense, and then we can special summon the copy of Crusadia Maximus to our hand, or to our field from our hand. Activate the field spell. So we can summon this here for the double damage just by targeting it. This gains the original attack of the monsters it points to, so unfortunately this will gain 0 from the Dawn Dragster. But it really doesn't make too big of a difference, because right now this is gaining 2100, putting up to 41. And we have World Lance in our hand, so if we attack anything, we can drop it down to 0, and we'll attack over for 41. And the damage will be doubled, so that'll be 8200 damage. And if they try to do anything to our Equal Max, we can Crusadia Power it, or we can use Dawn Dragster to negate any cards like Impermanence if need be. And we can also attack over all monsters they control by using the field spell, all with 2 cards left in hand. And we have Arborea in grave for protection. So if they try to use like Dark Hole or Ageki, just some generic destruction effects, we can banish this to prevent that destruction from happening. So yeah, pretty standard play. We didn't need to go for the Dragster. That's why this card, honestly, you don't have to play Dragster. I just like playing it for some synchro plays because I like making synchros. But it's just an option if you want it to be there. So yeah, that's it for this little test hand segment. Let me know if you guys want to see me do this more in future profiles. I'd be happy to do that. I think it adds something to the profile a little bit. I know Cali Effect with his awesome profiles, he's always adding in a little extra spice at the end. So I'm just trying to innovate and keep up with everybody else. But let me know if you guys want to see more of this stuff in the future. Leave a comment, some feedback would be appreciated. And yeah, that's it for the profile. If you guys enjoyed, check out Discord, check out the Discord, and check out Imperium Duelist as well. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, WinnerKill signing out. We'll see you guys in the next one.